Hey, everybody.
We are here.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's another sidetrack.
Yeah, we decided to do a Sidetracks today because we were going to watch a movie last night, but then we got all involved in all these weird food shows.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Sophie introduced us to a new series we probably ought to talk about. I think we saw the whole thing, didn't we?
Yeah, because there's only like 4 or 5 episodes. Because we started out watching, I guess there's a new one on there called Taco Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's like two seasons, but I hadn't heard of it, and they just put the second season up.
Yeah, it's Mexican.
So we watched like the first couple things of that, and that was like really good, but then Sophie's like, oh, there's this crazy Japanese one that's on here that you have to see that's called, what is it called? It's called Hyper Hardboiled Gourmet Report.
Yeah.
Hyper
Hardboiled Gourmet Report.
Which is the most Japanese title I think I've ever heard.
And it has very little to do with food.
It's tangentially about food, I guess.
They use food to try to figure out about fucking weird groups of people, like African child soldiers that are living in a cemetery.
Yeah, so I think that was some of General Butt Naked's.
Yeah, General Butt Naked's
former child, so because it was in Liberia.
Yeah, and then they use food to kind of track down to see what Middle Eastern refugees are eating when they're on their way going through the Balkans. Then they get into the Crips and the Bloods down in L.A. They go hang out with them.
It was actually the Crips versus Florencia.
That's right, Florencia.
It wasn't the Bloods weren't in there.
But it was kind of good because everything's from that damn Japanese perspective. It's kind of, they're shocked by everything, you know?
Well, the funniest thing to me was that it's not like crazy over the top like a lot of Japanese shows are, but it had like big words across the screen like a lot of the time, and it was all in Japanese, so we couldn't read it, even though it was like subtitled and shit, like what they were saying. But during the whole entire show, the guy who I guess is the producer, is he the producer? Like the guy, he's just in a circle up in the corner the whole time, and he's like commenting on everything, and so he's always making noises like like what's going on the screen, because he's not the guy that actually goes to the place. Like, he's not the guy that actually went to Liberia or actually, like, went to South Central or, all the other places that they went to. That's, like, some other dude. But this is the dude that just, like, sits back in this studio and just, like, reacts to everything that he's seeing. Yeah. It's, like, the weirdest thing.
It's funny is that the Japanese hosts and I guess the audience just believe everything they're told without question. Like, they're in L.A. and they're talking to people who are just getting out of central lockup. Men's central lockup. All right, if you guys know how jails and prisons work, you don't do a lot of time in a central lockup. You're not in a real prison. You know what I mean? You're not in a penitentiary. So usually you're there less than 60 days. They're talking to guys who are getting out, like old guys who don't have any teeth. And they were like, when he told them that he'd been locked up since he was 9.
Yeah. Well, initially he said he'd been in for 3 years. They were letting him out that he had been in there for 3 years.
That's right. And they said, when was the first time you went to prison? He goes, I was 9 the first time I went. You don't go to prison at 9. There's just all kinds of goofy shit.
Unless he meant like
nobody knows what he meant. No, he meant prison. He was just lying.
That's how badass.
Lying to foreigners.
I was so badass.
Yeah. And then he said he was going to get Chinese food, but instead they buy him Mexican food, and he's eating burritos.
He didn't really know the difference.
He didn't.
Well, I don't think he really cared. He's just like, food's food, whatever. Yeah.
And I don't think he had been in there for three years. Probably more like 30 days.
Yeah, and it's like, they couldn't really get a straight answer out of him, like what he was in there for.
Maybe even just a couple of days.
Maybe it was just something embarrassing.
Yeah. They get in there and they bond out and get a court date and they let them
that's like
court.
Not
it's
where
not
they.
Real jail.
That's not where they sense. That's just kind of like the holding.
It's a holding
place,
area.
Like before
it's
they either let you out or send you on to the other place. Or
send you on to a deeper prison.
Right.
That's right.
But it's just funny the way they were going. I mean, it's a fascinating concept for a show.
Yeah.
That these are kind of like, these people that you wouldn't really think about, what they eat. But this guy was apparently like really interested in that because he's like, everyone gets hungry. So he figured, I'm just going to go like ask all these people. Like, and it seemed like, I don't know if this was something in the translation, but I think it was saying like, what do crazy people eat or something.
Did say that at one point.
I think it did say that a couple of times. It's like, I don't know, like the translation. I don't know if that was correct or not because not all the people were crazy. It's like they talked to, you know, like I said, they just talked to some like refugees that were, you know, trying to like leaving Pakistan or whatever. They talked to like this woman in Africa who had survived Ebola. Like her whole family had died of it, and like she was, you know, they were still like, what does she eat and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like everyone wasn't a crazy person, but they did like try to concentrate, I guess, on criminals, essentially, like gang members,
gangs,
that type of stuff.
They weren't real bad guys, though. Like,
most of them seemed pretty okay.
Guys.
to be honest with you.
They were talking to one guy, I think it was from Valencia. It was from the Valencia gang. And
Florencia is the name of the gang.
Is that what it's called?
Florencia,
yeah. He had never done any serious jail time. And in fact, he legally he pulled out an AK-47 in a box with fucking his pistols and stuff. But if you understand the situation, he legally owned all that. That's grandfather clause, even in California. It was pre-banned. It was an old pre-banned Norinco, worth a lot of money. But the Japanese were fucking just shocked. They were just like, oh my God. Because he had tattoos and he had that damn AK.
Which is weird because they went and talked to like people that were in the Yakuza and they're like all covered with tattoos. It's like, why is that weird to them? I don't know if it was...
they don't like tattoos.
I don't know if it was like not necessarily weird to them or they were just like trying to make a show out of it. Like, oh my gosh, look how shocking this is. Or maybe that was like the funny aspect of the show was like the dude that's like up in the corner the whole time like reacting to everything, like going, like disapproving of shit.
Well, I remember we were laughing like when they first got to LA, not interpreter, whatever he was, the one that was going to show him around. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" The first thing he said is, "Those are AK bullet holes on that wall." And look, I got shot like last year. He goes up, and this is the first thing he told the Japanese people. And they're like jaws are like,
oh, so they were like, so the dudes were like showing off too, kind of
impressing them.
Like it's like I'm on a TV show. Like look how bad! Look, I got shot. It was like you could barely see it. Looked like somebody winged him in the elbow. I mean that's not good. I'm just saying that it's not like he got shot in the heart and survived.
I think a lot of it was just stories.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think a lot of it was, but I found it really really fascinating. Like you said, they didn't go as much into the food as maybe. I mean, they did. But a lot of it was just kind of like an anthropological...
The Liberia episode was the best one, where they had the child soldiers living in the damn cemetery.
They lived in a cemetery.
And then there was a female child soldier in there who's got good fucking muscle insertions and nice arms, and she's fucking hooking. And she takes the Japanese guy out to her places where she
seemed like a lovely woman,
Yeah,
actually.
She seemed normal. Yeah, she's funny.
Her name was Lofty.
Lofty, yeah. She was trying... And then she goes out there and she gets $1.50 for turning in a trick. And takes $1.50 and goes out and gets some rice and potato greens. Look like collard greens.
Yeah.
You know, look like Southern food, you know.
It did, actually.
I've never had potato greens.
And the Japanese guy ate some of it that was filming it, and he said it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was a lot for how cheap it was.
For $1.50.
Yeah, it was like a big, huge pile of rice, because she said that was the only meal that she got.
They're all good. They were all good episodes. They go into Russia and stuff. It's just the one that...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The one that stuck out. Yeah, the one that stood out was the Liberia one. For me.
Yeah, it definitely did.
I think that's the best one.
Plus, they got pickpocketed.
Although
he gave their shit back.
He gave it back.
He kept the pen, though.
They were playing with him.
Yeah.
They were playing with him, you know what I mean? They had cameras and were trying to get into the cemetery to take pictures of, you know, all the retired child soldiers living in crypts. And they were definitely showing off for the camera. Big time. They're
like, hey, look at this skull. This is a real skull. And they're like, yeah.
It came from a body.
It's a cemetery. Of course,
he pickpocketed a dude and says, oh, I'm sorry. It was an accident. His hand
My hand got stuck.
My hand got stuck. But he gave it.
That was awesome.
And he gave him his pin back. It was just one of those pins that has the multicolored. I
think they just said keep it. I don't
he goes, keep it.
We've got millions of those.
Hand got stuck. That's all.
Yeah, his hand got stuck.
Yeah, and they're all just a bunch of thieves and pickpockets and hookers and stuff.
Well, that's how they make. That's what they make money. It's like they buy food and crack.
That's the best one.
And then they sleep in the crypts in the fucking cemetery and then with the bones.
Then they go to meet Siberian Jesus up in Russia.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Siberian Jesus.
Yeah, they got a up in Siberia. They got a fake Jesus. He's evidently a reincarnation.
He looks
of Jesus.
very Jesus-y. I'll give him that much.
They built a little Santa Claus village. What it looks like. It looked nice.
It did, actually. It looked like a fucking Christmas card.
Looked like something from a Christmas
Those
card.
people, it's funny because I guess they were trying to you know, like I said, that's why it was a little weird that they used the word crazy, because these people, yeah, you could say it was a cult and everything like that, but most of the people looked pretty normal. I don't know if Siberian Jesus was normal because they didn't talk to him. Like maybe he was some fucked up individual, but everybody that was in this group seemed okay. Like it didn't seem sketchy or anything. They were all carpenters, right? And they had built like all the houses that they lived in, and they were actually like really, really nice.
Yeah, Louis talking about grandfather and then the AKs. Yeah, it was a pre-ban Norinco from the 80s, all right? And then the Supreme Court just overturned California's assault rifle magazine ban, so everything's on the table. You can have a 30-round magazine there now. So all that shit's getting thrown out. You can't ban... There is no such thing as an assault rifle. It's got to be full auto to be an assault rifle. The way they have that shit all defined, it's fucking crazy.
Mango Badger says, Sushi Yakuza, the name of my new food show. I've already copyrighted it.
Right.
Yeah, Zach says, excuse me, Siberian Jesus. Yes.
He looks like him. He's pretty...
He did. Like, I liked his red robes. It was kind of like Siberian Jesus crossed with David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers. It was kind of like that. It was like a red kind of thing. But they didn't... They couldn't talk to him. I don't know if he, like, wouldn't be on camera or whatever, but it's like everybody in the village... like had pictures of him like on their walls, and I was cracking up because the one house they had the calendar, like one of those, you know, kind of 11 by 17 like glossy calendars with a calendar on one side and then like a big photo of Siberian Jesus on one side, and he's like leaning against the wall looking very savior like with the sun behind his head and everything, and I was like looking all serious. It was funny.
Hey man, fucking his fucking what you know, his photo shoot game was fucking... It was
top notch, I have to say.
You know, he's bringing the Siberian Jesus game with each fucking photo shoot.
Oh, definitely. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. But he wouldn't make an appearance. He didn't want to talk to the Japanese.
I guess not.
He didn't want to be ridiculed, evidently.
Yeah, maybe not. Or maybe he wanted to like retain his mystique.
Yeah, he did. That's
what I mean.
He looked a little young to be Jesus, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I couldn't actually tell how old he was.
He looked like he was 30.
Yeah. I think he's older than that. Like I said, I listened to a podcast about it, but I really can't remember the details. I think he's a little bit different. But, I think he's older than 30. I think he just looks good. Or those are old pictures, maybe.
Maybe, but we don't know what he looks like
The
now.
Japanese didn't like it.
No, you said that the Japanese don't like cults. They
don't like cults.
Put off by cults.
They're put off by cults. And
well, rightly so most of the time, because a lot of them are super sketchy. This one, I'm just saying that they talked to the people and the people seemed normal. They didn't seem like weirdos or anything.
The Japanese don't like religions. They just don't like them. Especially more than talking about in the rural areas. They don't understand them. They're not raised with that.
I can see that.
They don't, because Shinto is not really... They're not big into Shinto like they were, you know, in the 40s.
Yeah.
And Shinto is like kind of just like a bunch of animism. It's not a centralized religion where there's a god that created everything.
Yeah.
It's not in it. It's like a bunch of little folklore, folktale stuff, you know. The Kappa might be in it. Remember the Kappa?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be in it.
All of the yokai monsters.
Yeah, the yokai monsters might be in it.
Like the umbrella monster with the foot and the tongue.
And there's, you know... Shit
and
like
the chick
magic,
with the super long
spirits and
neck.
magic dogs and shit like that. You know, there isn't. It's just a bunch of folk superstitions, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Mango says Siberian Jesus sounds like a Cradle of Filth track. Well, actually, I was thinking of that Bad Religion song, American Jesus, which that's what it reminded me of. Zach said, speaking of food, did I ever tell you guys about my sister's cookbook?
No.
You have not, but you should. What kind of cookbook is it? We gotta work on ours.
We gotta finish our cookbook.
We gotta finish our cookbook because, like I said, I want it done by the end of the year. God damn it! So we still have like 2 or 3 more months. But yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of He says, "Isn't Christianity still big there though, and Buddhism?"
No, Christianity's big in Korea.
In Korea, it is. Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if Buddhism is really a factor in Japan. You'd probably not anymore. You'd have to check. What's funny is that, you know, a lot of these countries will have religious traditions, like when it comes around burial and in marriage and maybe certain holidays. But other than that, you know, it's like we celebrate Christmas, but how Christian is Christmas? You know,
Well,
same thing with Easter. How Christian is it? That's 2 or 3
Not
different
very.
things happening at once. There's a
Yeah.
corporate version of it. There's
Yeah.
kind of it's based on a pagan idea, not Christianity. Then there's been Christian kind of laid over it, you know, superimposed over it. So what kind of holiday is it? It's also a federal holiday, and you know the United States is secular. So
Yeah.
why is it recognizing these religious?
But I feel like a lot of people just celebrate it in a secular. I mean, I always
Right.
have because
Well,
I didn't grow up
I was
religious.
going to answer why. We do it because Rome did it.
Yeah.
Basically, Rome did that same thing. It had its secular games and secular fucking holidays that were based on fucking Roman cults, even though they were secular,
Yeah,
because it was both at the same time. They didn't take it that seriously.
yeah.
And it was just
Well, it's just a fun.
traditional. They're homaging things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's, you know, the height of winter, like spring is
Yeah.
coming soon. It's like a big festival. You can
Right.
everybody can get together. There's food, there's presents. It's like, oh, it's going to be warm again soon. Hooray. It's that kind of thing. So it's like I can see
Yeah.
why there have been holidays like celebrated around that time of year like everywhere around the world for like thousands of years.
Yeah.
Zach said, look up The Butcher Babe by L'Oreal Gavin. She was on the Food Network. Okay, I will, actually.
Okay.
That sounds pretty cool. That, you know what, you talking about the funerals or burials and stuff reminded me of that other thing that was on
Oh yeah, and
that show.
The cremation.
That was, it was in Tibet, right?
Nepal.
Or Nepal, yeah. Where they had, you know where they have the burials and they like put them out on the, you know, by the side of the river. It wasn't the Ganges, but it was like an
It might
offshoot.
have been, yeah, an offshoot.
Yeah, I think it was like a tributary or something. And it's like, and they burn them and you can come out there and see it. And they talked to the guy that was like one of the crematorium guys, like the body burning dudes. And then they talked to these little kids, and their job, I guess, was to go out and they would like trawl in the water, like after the bodies were burned and they scraped all the ash of the people into the water. And these kids would go and trawl through the water, like looking for coins and gold teeth and
Money
shit.
and
Yeah.
teeth. We fish for
Yeah.
money and teeth.
That's what she said. And she
Yeah.
was 8. She
Yeah.
was like the cutest little girl. And she
Yep.
was just like in there in this like filthy like corpse water.
Yep.
Like, but she seemed like okay with it,
Didn't
I
care.
guess. I mean, that was just like, well, that's our life. So
They were living in fucking bad poverty,
They were.
so they
It's-
didn't care.
Yeah, I guess it was like, it was
Just
not
normal.
stuff. But yeah, it's, anyone remember Bitchin' Kitchen? I don't.
No.
What was that all about?
Sounds like a bunch of surfers trying to teach you how to fucking cook. This shit's bitching, man.
Everybody's got a fucking, well, if you're gonna have a cooking show, because so many people have a cooking show and so many people have a cookbook, you need to have an angle, man.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking, you know, vegan black metal chef has, where he got popular on YouTube because he fucking not only like made everything vegan and had all the, you know, black metal shit on, but he also wrote a song for everyone that told how to make the shit.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, you got to have an angle. So you sound like you're kind of done.
Winding down.
He's winding down.
I've just got these allergies going on. I got
Yeah, cat.
Pookie got it way up in my nose, and I'm like residual effects here. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to like hold it together without sniffling.
I was mad because I was thinking about turning my AMC $20 a month back on. I was thinking about turning that back on and going to see fucking
Peninsula.
Peninsula.
The Train to Busan,
Part 2.
sequel.
Oh, I didn't know that was out.
Yeah, it's
That's
out, and they
cool.
don't, and it's not at the.
It's not
ours.
at our theater. It's at some other. Well, the thing is, it's like it was at AMC theaters. It's at some of them still, but it's been out for like a month,
Damn.
like more than a month. So it might have played at ours, and I just didn't realize.
What's playing at ours right now? Anything good?
Damn, I don't remember. I know Tenet was, New Mutants. There's some other stuff, and they're doing like some old movies. They're doing like Close Encounters. They're doing Empire Strikes Back. They're doing like Jurassic Park. Like they're show them on the big screen like special event type
I'd
stuff.
love to see Close Encounters again.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah,
You ever seen it in the
look.
theater?
I have to look
Never
up the
seen it
date.
at all.
You never seen it at all?
No.
She's never seen Close Encounters at all.
Yeah.
That was the original big budget fucking space movie.
It's a space movie.
Space movie. That was better than fucking that was came out after 2001, but before Star Wars, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Star Wars hadn't come out yet, I don't think, and it had really good special effects for the time.
It did
I was
actually.
like, wow, seeing alien ships. Yeah, UFOs coming to Earth.
And building the shit out of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Well, the aliens didn't do that.
Right, possessing people's minds.
Richard Dreyfuss did
Remember
that.
the little kid? What was his name? Of fucking running out through the damn doggy door, and the aliens grabbed him. With the beam.
That's right.
What was his name? Barry. Barry, come back. His mom was running. Barry, no.
Who names a kid
Barry,
so,
fucking
so
yeah,
weird.
and the kid's fucking yeah.
Fuck you, Mom. I'm going with the
I'm
aliens.
going to the aliens. He goes ice cream and fucking flies up in the air.
Aliens have the best ice cream.
Right.
Oh, I wonder has anybody ever made a movie that was like kind of a mix-up, mashup between like an alien invasion movie and an ice cream truck horror movie? Because there's several ice cream horror
Killer
movies.
Clowns has ice cream in it.
That's true, and they're from space.
That's what I was thinking.
I love that
And
fucking movie.
Yeah, I've seen that a million times. It's one of my favorites. But I'm trying to remember, is it the hook with the ice cream? They're like made of? No, they're not made of ice cream. There's like ice cream that is at the end though too.
Yeah.
Like they melt. One of them gets melted or something.
Yeah, I think so. I just saw it like a few months ago, but I can't remember.
I don't know. I feel bad. I can't remember the end.
I know. I can't either. Like I remember, shit, man.
Yeah.
I remember the popcorn guns and the cotton candy. Like
I don't remember which component goes where. I know they're
right.
all kind of connected, but you know.
What I love about that was that it's so low budget, but the production design was just so fucking cool looking. Like they just went all out with that shit. Like the inside of the ship, it's like it looks amazing, and the clowns look amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So somebody said it's time for Tom's old man nap.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is probably
That's coming up.
Definitely.
I'll ride that wave too. I'll take an allergy nap. That'll work too.
Yeah, because Pookie got right in her face.
Yeah.
Pookie will get right in your face because she's not one
of
of
those. I
those.
saw the fur flying too. It was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't. Her hair is short, but if you touch her, it just goes like little cactus things.
She ran up next to her. What can I get from you? What can I get from you?
Yeah, it's like, do you love me
Everything's
also?
cheap.
Do
Can
you
I get
love me
something
also?
What are you going to do for me? That's what she does.
Well, I get a daily headbutt. You only get one though. So it's usually like in the evening, like after I've kind of like taken a shower and then I sit down on the bed and then she jumps up on the bed and I'm like, headbutt, headbutt. And I put my head like that and she comes and goes, doink.
Yeah.
And then she goes and jumps off and goes and does other shit. But like I said, she won't do it twice. She just does it one time.
Yep.
But she knows what headbutt means. All right. So that'll do it for our Sidetracks. Next live stream is going to be Saturday night. My big birthday live stream.
Yeah.
We're going to have cake and hats.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Better.
Dennis might have a hat.
Yeah.
Now that his head is back on. Pookie might have a hat, although she'll probably take it off and eat it. But yeah, it should be fun. And it's going to be like a fun topic. We're not doing like a super depressing topic this time. So it should be a good time. Okay. So we'll see you guys again live on Saturday night. Have the good rest of your day. Bye.